Hello again. This is a fourth in a series of videos where people ask some questions that are simple but very significant to our daily existence. This particular one has to do with sadness. Someone asked, why is sadness so prevalent? Even in smiles, there is a disguise of their sadness. Well, when I wrote the book, The Four Unknown Facts of Reality, my inner guidance made it very clear to me that although love is source, love is the greatest power and force in the universe, that love is what it's all about, that to call it love would be to do it an injustice. The injustice comes from the fact that you create a concept about love. We can't help it because everybody works from their own level of awareness. And the moment you call love, the word love, you have created a concept. That concept becomes a reality to you, a belief, an image, so that every time you hear the word love, you see that image, which of course in a way keeps you blocked from going beyond it. And love has no limit. Love has no marginal point. It is a complete feeling, knowing in the heart, and it has no edges, it has no end. So the word emptiness was a perfect word, because the word emptiness signified a complete feeling. Now, what we call sadness is an incomplete feeling. And as a matter of fact, it came to me that how you feel about the word sadness the moment you hear it is how much incompletion is within you. Because you see, the moment we see the word sadness, we think of it as something lacking, as something we're doing without. You see, it feels incomplete. But in truth, the word emptiness is complete. It is fullness. See, because it has no beginning, it has no end, it has no circumference, it has no boundary line. Emptiness is total, but the fact that we don't like it is because we carry the feeling of incompletion within us. It's a very subtle point. And this is why I learned so much in writing the book, The Four Unknown Facts of Reality, making the word emptiness as also the most beloved of all words, and yet the most feared of all words. And how we see it is how we see ourselves. Eventually, when we wake up spiritually, we also wake up to the fact that we love the word emptiness. Because again, it is the source itself. It has no beginning, no end. It is totally empty, totally nothing, from which everything came. It is the source of everything. So what is sadness then? Okay? Here's the secret. It's very, very simple. It is an incomplete feeling. Something in you feels incomplete. Maybe an uncertainty, maybe a hurt, maybe some trauma that you haven't healed, maybe some past misdeed, some guilt, shame. Something is incomplete. So we can say that feelings that are incomplete is what creates continual sadness in us. And it keeps creating thoughts regarding that incompletion. Feelings, I'm not good enough, there's something wrong with me, I am missing something, why don't I get it? I understand all this spirituality intellectually, but I cannot live it, I don't realize it. These are all words signifying a lack, signifying incompletion. So now we go into 3 points to understand. What is an incomplete feeling, which we've just discussed? What is a complete feeling? And how do we heal an incomplete feeling? So we've discussed what is an incomplete feeling, okay? Something that keeps nagging you, something like a pebble in your shoe that you can get rid of, like an itch that you cannot scratch. It's there all the time. That is a feeling of sadness, something that has not completed itself, something that is still lingering there because a part of you doesn't want to get rid of it. You see, and sometimes you blame others or you blame the world. You know, I have a trauma that keeps repeating all the time and I cannot get rid of it and blah, blah, blah. And we play victim. There are no victims. You are a complete human being. You are a being playing the human role. The human gets the feeling of incompletion because the human is consciousness in appearance. The being is complete. So therefore, every time that we feel incomplete, we are functioning from the idea that we are just a body, instead of the very spirit, the very light that brought us into being, the very source itself. Okay, so a complete feeling is something that we bring totally into the present. The present itself is joy, it is peace, it is love, it is happiness. Because completion does not want to add or subtract anything. It's complete. You're here, you're now. You're not gaining anything, you're not losing anything. So, now the key question here is, how do we complete a feeling so that this sadness reaches completion and becomes peace? I want you to think of it, this negativity, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Okay, that really keeps completing. Maybe you want to get even with somebody, maybe somebody hurt you and you don't want to forgive them. You see, it is an unforgiven aspect of your feeling nature. Okay, that's incompletion. Now, think of this incompletion as a ball. Okay, and see it with the label that you've given it, whatever label you gave it: shame, guilt, fear, anxiety, blame, whatever. Okay, and throw it and watch it roll. Now the ball keeps rolling to the extent that you threw it. Okay, if you threw it with great force because you want to get rid of it, the more you want to get rid of something, of course, the more it sticks. Just like what you resist persists. So when you want to get rid of something, you go through the motion of giving it great force, of wanting to get rid of it. But at the same time, you're giving it more movement. So the ball has more running time to do. But it's okay too. It's okay too. Okay? So what you do is you throw this ball, which is made up of incomplete feeling, and watch it roll away until it reaches a stopping point all of its own, because it always will stop. And when it stops, you've reached completion. So by watching it and doing absolutely nothing, no resisting, no controlling, nothing, see it as that ball. Okay? And as it stops, you feel, you take a deep breath and say, now it has stopped. And now you've reached completion. Completion is just like saying emptiness. It has no beginning, no end, no boundary line, no, it's total, it's always. And that will be the healing of that feeling, to complete something. So remember, if there is sadness, something in you when you get up in the morning, there is a living question in you, which is an incomplete feeling. And that living question could be, is something wrong with me? What am I missing? I feel like I'm not good enough. I understand this truth, but I can't live it. I haven't realized it. These are all the games of the mind, because it's still placed on the surface. The truth is that you are being, and it's very, very simple. Being is this moment. Now, when that becomes very clear and you see emptiness as complete, full, because again, I repeat, it has no boundary line, it has no beginning or end, it is simply empty, which means also it is full, because it is a complete thing, okay? You have it. You take a deep breath, and it is that simple. I hope this helped. Thank you.